Bitcoin is literally on the edge of a cliff, retesting a 3-month-long major uptrending support line. A loss of this level could result in a strong correction toward the downside. In today's video, we're going to be going over the technical indicators and discussing the likelihood of both a correction and a bounce. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. This is by far the most delicate position Bitcoin has been in for over 3 months, having rejected from the major 48k level and now retesting a major 3-month-long uptrend with relevant and visible weakness. Bitcoin is truly on the edge of a cliff. In today's video, we're going to be going over exactly what you need to know to understand what is happening and of course, how to plan and prepare for the future. Before we do get into it, smash that like button, hit that comment button and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos on Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you're interested in, join us on Telegram. It is the third link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop of cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. If you're interested in joining VIP, you can join our VIP group. We post trading setups with exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. You'll also get access to our group chats, our general chat, our trading chart and education chat, our news chat, our help chat, our daily video chat, and our trade setup chat. If you're interested in getting access to that with over 600 members, contact us in the pinned comment of the free channel to find out more information. Let's go ahead guys and dive on in, and we'll start on the market data. So how are we looking for today? 24-hour volume has seen a small reduction again, down 7.04%, sitting at a total of 82 billion. 24-hour liquidations have seen a little bit of a jump up at 58% up for the 24-hour period at 113 million in total, with 86 million coming from longs and 27 million coming from shorts as Bitcoin continues to drop downward on that short-term time frame. Again, looking like we are seeing this consolidation, trapping a lot of late longs in and then continuing lower. We'll be coming back and discussing this in detail in just a moment, guys. Moving over to the DXY, we can see on the DXY is still looking relatively strong. Again, we don't have high time frame strength here, but we have broken out of a 2 or 3 month downtrending diagonal resistance. So we are now in a overall uptrend. The uptrend is relatively weak as of right now. We are establishing this uptrend still. While we remain above this level of support is support until it is not. If we do break above that 50 and this green area of resistance around 103, we can expect a strong continuation upwards to around about 105. This will be very, very bearish for cryptocurrency, guys, and very, very bearish for the stock market. If we do see a rejection and continuation lower, that could provide an opportunity for the asset markets to continue upwards. However, it would not surprise me that we would be exhausting here and expecting a continuation upwards for the DXY. What I do like to do is sometimes invert the charts and ask myself, if I invert the chart, would I still share the same bias? And when we see it inverted, we have a massive long uptrend. We have broken down from the uptrend. Therefore, we'd expect the trend to continue in the current trajectory, provided we do continue underneath, or should I say above, this downtrending diagonal. Moving over to the S&P 500, we can see we're steadily holding above this major area of support now. Again, showing us not really all that much. A lot of indecision here on the weekly now of two almost equal body weekly candles. Forming, closing, opening, and closing around those same prices. So we're not seeing too much over here. We can say objectively from a higher time frame, while we sit above that 4,800 level, we are looking decent. If we do drop below that level again, that is going to be particularly bearish, particularly if we break below the low, or should I say the open price of the last weekly candle at around 4,734. That would be a trigger for a continuation all the way back down to around 4,600. Provided we remain above this level, we can look for a continuation higher. We're looking at that $5,000 psychological level. If we do continue upwards. For us to continue upwards, we would have to take a look at the smaller time frame. On the smaller time frame, we are really looking for a break simply above this prior high. We're looking around 4,837. A break above this level will result in a potential continuation upwards. I say potential because a break above this level will give the option for the price to continue higher. Whether or not the buyers will have the strength to push upwards is a different story. However, it would give the price a chance at doing so. And that is all we need sometimes in the market, is a chance to do something. Moving over here to the Dow Jones, we can see a very similar situation. We are creating that local high resistance at that psychological level at 38,000. A break above this level, again, could potentially push the prices back upwards. We're looking for 39,000 psychological level as the next potential area of resistance. Again, these areas are areas that have not been tested in the past. It is very much in price discovery, so we look for these whole numbers, these areas where people are most likely to put their sell orders at. And of course, if we do drop below this weekly open price around 37,600, we can expect a continuation back down into support. Moving over, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin, and there is a lot to talk about, but before we do, a quick word from Bitget and BingX. I wanted to briefly interrupt today's video to discuss the two exchanges we use on this channel, Bitget and BingX. So which exchange should you sign up to? If you look to the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see the list of differences in relation to KYC requirements and the countries these exchanges offer services to. The first link down below being the Bitget link, and the second link down below being the BingX link. No matter which link you sign up to, you're going to get up to 15% discounts on your trading fees, up to $5,000 in trading rewards, and of course, you'll get access to every single MegaWhale exclusive bonus campaign we run on these exchanges. Alongside that, Bitget and BingX are incredibly similar. They are both ranked top 10 in terms of trading volume. They both have extensive liquidity pools and market pairs offering up to 125x leverage. And most importantly, they both offer protection funds for their users to protect you against any third-party hacks. So get started now and support the channel by clicking the links below. Thanks for listening. Okay guys, back on into Bitcoin, and as we said at the start of the video, Bitcoin is probably looking the most delicate, and by delicate I mean weak. It is looking the weakest it has looked for a very long time. Now if we look at the higher time frame really quickly, we can see a few things that are going on, specifically on this chart. What we have is we have a very, very simple bearish divergence on that 3-day. That 3-day bearish divergence is expanded. We can take it down to a daily. We can see 2 daily bearish divergences develop back to back, but on the 3-day, we can see it a little bit more clearly. What we have generally when we see price action, we see price action break through a resistance, which we did 32K. The price action will continue until it reaches the area of resistance where liquidity will be grabbed. We did see that here, and then the trend will shift into a downtrend. So we are seeing that now. We're seeing a shift from an uptrend into a short-term downtrend. The high time frame uptrend is very much still intact. So no matter what you hear on Twitter or whatever, it doesn't really matter what happens on the smaller time frame here. If Bitcoin drops 15-20%, the overall yearly uptrend is still intact, and that is really at the crux of it, what matters if you're looking for the high time frame swings across, the next year or the next 2 years. But specifically focusing on what is happening now, Bitcoin is definitely not looking very good, guys. If we take a look at the price action of it from a technical perspective, we have officially broken down. As of right now, with 3 minutes remaining on that daily candle, we will likely be closing below 2 major levels. Major level number 1, the 50 EMA, which is that red line, okay? And major level number 2, which is the upper band, okay? The upper level, draw it out, you can see the orange line, the upper level of the Gaussian channel. These 2 levels are massive in determining the overall strength of the price action and the overall trend of the price action. A loss of both these levels indicates to us that the uptrend we have been in ever since we broke above right over here on October 23rd, 16th of October 2023, the uptrend we have been in over the last 2 to 3 months has now officially come to an end. We are now ending that uptrend after we retested 48K, hit that liquidity, and we have rejected now, and that rejection has garnered enough strength for us to say the uptrend is officially now over. The big question is, what does this mean for the future of the price action? How low can Bitcoin go? And Could we have seen a bounce irrespective of the fact that these two indicators are suggesting that we are now in a downtrend? So first and foremost, let's take a look at the recent price action. As we can see in the past, on the 16th of October, we broke above the Gaussian channel upper band. We remained above the upper band and the 50 MA all until we retested and broke below it in 3 minutes time. So we're looking at this now in 3 minutes time. Now we do have to remember, this was the fake ETF approval. This was the real ETF approval. What a shock is that, guys? So look at that. Fake ETF approval right over here. Real ETF approval, the fake approval marking the beginning of the rally, the real approval marking the end of the rally, guys. And again, that is a perfect example of how perceived risk in the market determines actual movements, okay? It is a perfect example of how the perception of a future event prices in prior to the event occurring, which is why you hear the common saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. And it's exactly what we have seen here on Bitcoin, the most perfect illustration of that I can think of. Let's go ahead and break it down a little bit further, guys. So when we take a look at the Gaussian channel and the 50 MA, generally when we do break into the Gaussian channel, we can take a look back at the past over here. When we break into the Gaussian channel, after remaining above the Gaussian channel, right? We're above it, we break into it, we're above it, we break into it, we're above it, we break into it. Generally, what happens is we actually do break underneath the lower band of the Gaussian channel at some point. It is unlikely we continue much deeper after breaking below the lower band because we are in a macro uptrend, but it does tell us breaking into the upper band of the Gaussian channel likely brings us underneath the lower band of the Gaussian channel momentarily. So if we do take a look at where that is sitting at a price point of around 38,200 if we draw a vertical line right down. That means we are looking for a breakdown to 38,200, provided Bitcoin now remains underneath the Gaussian channel upper band. We'll discuss in a moment what would invalidate this. So as of right now, we can see the daily candle is just closed below 50 MA, again, and below the upper band of the Gaussian channel. What we can see in the past, when we break below the upper band of the Gaussian channel, we end up breaking underneath the lower band of the Gaussian channel. So we are looking for continuation downwards now into our next major area of support between 38 to 40K. That is the most likely current move for Bitcoin, a correction down to 40 to 38,000. That is what we're expecting, and that is most likely. If we lose 38,000, Bitcoin could see a further correction into this gap in the VRPV around 36,000. However, that would be the most likely lowest possible price Bitcoin is going to see if we do lose 38K. I would not expect Bitcoin to drop any lower than that if we do lose 38K. Personally, I actually don't think we're going to lose 38K. I think we'll come back down and maybe liquidity to grab below it and then continue back upwards, but we'll see how the price develops. And of course, if we do lose 38K, we're looking for a continuation down to 36 before a continuation upwards, guys. So overall, Bitcoin is looking very, very bad. It's looking very, very scary over here. The first time in a very long time, the trend, the uptrend we have been in, is actually at risk of breaking. Like we said, we have technical validations here. From a structural perspective, the uptrend has not yet exactly broken. You can see this is the uptrend here. We are pretty much retesting it by the dollar as we speak over here. We have these technical validations of a breakdown, so the probability this trend will not hold is quite high. Now, we did say there is a possibility of a bounce, and that is correct. While this actual uptrend is holding as support, there is always going to be a possibility to bounce from it, so we could see a potential bounce developing from right here. However, with the technical validations and the overall weakness we can see in the strength, it is unlikely that uptrend is going to hold. If it does, fantastic. We will not see a macro reversal, a proper short-term reversal on Bitcoin unless we break above these trigger points. However, it could provide some temporary relief after quite an aggressive pullback. So let's go down to a smaller time frame and take a look, guys. What we can see over here has Bitcoin, like we said in yesterday's video, there were two levels we were looking at. We were looking at this consolidation range between these trigger points here and this lower trigger point. We said directional break will determine direction. Don't try front run it as it is a chop zone. We said that if we do break above this local high, we can expect a continuation upwards, and if we do break below this local low, we can expect a continuation downward, and that is exactly what we have seen. we have now seen that continuation downwards. As you can see, we are retesting this area of support, the last line of support really for Bitcoin until we see a drop to that 40k level. If we lose this level, we do expect a continuation lower. However, support is support until it's not, and therefore I would not be aping into late shorts over here, guys. Wait to see what happens. Wait to see how the price action develops. If we do bounce, I would not be expecting strength to return to the price action again until we break over that same trigger point we were looking at yesterday. So a break over this trigger point around 43.4k, we will look at that as a sign of strength for a continuation back upwards to 45.5. However, again, it is not looking ideal for Bitcoin down at this price range. I think we're going to go ahead and jump over to one more chart and then wrap it up. I had someone ask me the other day, Whale, what do altcoins do in the bull run, and how have we seen, the altcoin performance in prior cycles in comparison to Bitcoin? This is kind of the perfect chart to sum up. On the right-hand side, we have the total altcoin market cap, excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin. On the left-hand side, we have the Bitcoin total, the total crypto market cap, which basically includes Bitcoin. And we know Bitcoin is a market dominator. As we can see over here, guys, on that first initial rally, so we'll draw it out. The bull run starts as we break above this level, okay? And that is when we enter the bull run. That first initial rally for Bitcoin in that bull run, and then correction. We can take a look at altcoins over here. Altcoins basically do not even move. If we look at the same level, altcoins are down over here as the time Bitcoin is already pushed up significantly. It's only after that first pullback, once the bull run's already started, do we then see altcoins significantly grow. So the answer to that is we generally won't see altcoins actually go parabolic until just after the bull run has started and Bitcoin has already completed that first move toward the upside. And during its first correction, we'll then see money rotate from Bitcoin into altcoins and then continue upwards. Now, there are always going to be a couple altcoins that overperform beforehand and a couple that underperform beforehand, a couple that overperform after and underperform after. It is not all of them. It is a general statement on average through all of the altcoins in the market. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic day. Something to watch out for. Definitely keep your eyes on what is happening here. I would not be jumping the gun into taking late shorts, as we are retesting an area of structural support. However, we are seeing some massive red flags in terms of the overall strength of the trend as of right now with the Gaussian channel and the 50 EMA breakdown. It is reasonable to assume after a strong liquidity grab to the top side, we could see an overcorrection toward the downside, and therefore again, I would be very cautious of taking late shorts at an area of potential support. If you were going to take shorts on Bitcoin, you should have done it when we told you guys to do so, which was up at this level of resistance. So be cautious, be patient, and wait for the market to react, okay? I'll catch you guys in the next one tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. See you then.